wind 14010, gust 20.
Alright, down 3 greens, no red.
Calling ground, say again, please.
Hi, Twin Star 943 Echo Sierra with Romeo, Charlie 1 run-up area. Run-up is complete, will be VFR towards downtown.
Twin Star 943 Echo Sierra, Centennial ground, runway 17 left, taxi via Alpha.
Runway 17 left, taxi via Alpha, Twin Star 3 Echo Sierra.
The aviation thing has been around since I was a little kid. I've always been looking up in the sky, to be really cheesy and putting it that way. My dad and I always spent time down at the airport, just like watching planes land and everything. So that's always been, I guess, around since I was a little kid. Not until high school did I want to get into aviation photography, so that's kind of when they started to mesh together a little bit. I got my first DSLR for Christmas, and it was really mainly for aviation photography. I was doing absolutely nothing other than that. And then I started taking photo classes at Brophy, high school I went to, and I just loved it. I was working for the newspaper, and I just started building up my resume in terms of what I was shooting. And then I think it was my 12th birthday. It was my 12th birthday, yeah. My parents got me like this Discovery flight. It was like the super like be a captain for a day type of thing. I know. But I sat in the left seat, I flew the plane, and that's when I really loved it. I wanted to be a pilot. So that's kind of the turning point, if you will, of when I wanted to become a pilot. And photography has always been kind of a side hobby. I really didn't think I was going to do it in high school or after high school. I thought it was just going to be kind of a low-key hobby, like, oh, take a photo here and there. It wasn't until I got into the Daily Wildcat and actually applied and got the job and found out I was still good at it and improving that I wanted to continue in journalistic type photography. And then at the end of my time at the Daily Wildcat, I noticed that I started to have a strong skill in sports photography. And that's when the Arizona Athletics job came about. I haven't met any pilots that are like, oh, maybe I'll try aviation, see if I like it, because we're so ridiculously obsessed and fanatics about it that it's always kind of like inherent in our nature. The skill required to do it is it's just so unique, and it requires a lot of different skill sets. In photography, you need to be a people person along with being creative at the same time. Whereas photography or with aviation, you have to be multitasking. You have to leave your ego on the ground. You can't have any emotions, which is why I'm a rather unemotional person. And you have to be able to think on your feet as a pilot too. Like there's situations where you have less than a minute to decide, and that could honestly be the cliche between life and death type situation. Funny thing is that I can't multitask on the ground. Like people say, like, oh yeah, I can listen to music, I can do homework and text at the same time. I can't do any of that. But once I get in the cockpit, I can do 5 things at once seamlessly. It's really strange. It's what's weird, and that's what's weird about flying in photography is that if I have downtime, all I want to do is flying in photography. But sometimes I really have to just remove myself and just say, like, you know what, okay, you need to not do anything. Like if I have a Friday afternoon off or something like that, it's like, okay, I've seen people all week, I've been working all week, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I might exercise, might go for a bike ride, but more often than not, I'll spend an afternoon on Netflix or something like that, doing what most college students do. But even if I want to do something like with photography, I'll go out and walk around downtown and just take photos of whatever I kind of want, and even that's just kind of relaxing because you're not doing an assignment, you're shooting what you want to shoot. And you just get what you get, and if you don't get it, there's no harm, no foul. There's no one breathing down your neck saying your content is crap. And that's what's hard about it being a photographer, is that you're always spending your time looking through your viewfinder. You get to view it, but at the same time, it's not the same. I got off this idea that just came to my head. surprisingly. The whole thing, you have one chance. In photography, you have that one moment to catch that moment, to be redundant. Same way with flying, is that when you're up there, you're the only one who can get yourself down on the ground. No one can help you. It's this guy. People shudder all the time when I tell them that. But with photography, it's always trying to notice things that most people don't notice, like little moments. And a lot of people spend their time on their phone all day, staring at their phone. And I'm a victim of that too. But like, I always just kind of keep my eye, like, just kind of looking around and see interactions with people, or maybe a cool angle or something like that. It's just looking at details, keeping an eye on detail, I guess, is how I would wrap that scattered idea up. I've been fortunate to have this passion come up, and being able to fulfill it by the time I was 18 is, I think, kind of cool and kind of rare. I mean, some people do find it early in life. Some people don't find it at all, you know. It's just kind of what you do with it.
Number 3 Echo Sierra, turn left Alpha 8, ground point 8, good day.
Left Alpha 8, ground point 8, and we just had light chop and light to moderate precip on short final there.
Thank you.